Hello everyone, this is Raj. Welcome to the world of Salesforce. Today is the day 40 class where we are going to discuss a scheduled flow and a time-based flow. Right? Scheduled flow and a time-based flow. What is a scheduled flow? So if I want to run a flow in the backend at a particular point of time, right? I need to set a time frequency. At that particular point of time, the flow needs to trigger. Let me tell a small scenario. So I want to run a flow where the particular flow needs to be run at a night time. At the end of the day at night 10 p.m. I need to deactivate some accounts where there is no activity from the last 30 days. Okay. So I need to check the account activity, right? So from the last 30 days, if there is no any updation, then I am going to deactivate the particular account. So no one sit in front of the system and check every day from all the accounts, opening one account and needs to check. So if it is active or not. So if it is not, again, he needs to deactivate this account. That means updating the record. So it is not possible, right? So that means I'm going to schedule this particular trigger, right? Just I'm postponing. I'm postponing every day. Every day I need to run this particular flow at a specific interval of time. Instead of running instantly, I am going to schedule this flow at a specific interval of time, and that particular of time system is going to run this flow, and whatever we are doing the DMLs in that flow, it is going to perform those operations. Right? This is the simple business use case. What is that use case? So I need to check in the system account records. If there is no activity found from the last 30 days, then I am going to deactivate those accounts. So for this, I am going to schedule a flow. This is what my use case, and today we are going to practice. Okay, so let me go into this flow. Go back to this flow. Okay, just create a new flow. Okay, start. Here you can see this scheduled trigger flow. Scheduled trigger flow. So it is giving clearly launches at a specific time and frequency for each record in a batch. Right? It is going to launch at a specific time and frequency. So for every day or weekly ones or monthly ones, I want to schedule at a specified time for each record. So this particular flow is going to run in the back end. Right? This auto launched flow runs in the background. Okay. So let me click on this, click on create. Right. Now you can see here, I need to set a scheduled time. Right. I need to set a scheduled time and frequency. So what is the start date and start time? Whether it needs to perform one time, daily or weekly. There are three options given by the Salesforce. So whether it needs to perform one time, daily or weekly. So here you can see there, as of now, there is no any object selected. You need to set a scheduled time and you need to select an object as well. Okay. So if you here, you need to see here, first of all, setting a start date. So let's say today is the start date. So at this particular start date, I am going to set the start time as of now, time is 12:05. I am going to set the period to 12:30 or 12:15. Okay, 12:15 p.m. Right? So let me go here, 12:15 p.m. Okay, 12:15 p.m. So frequency is once I am keeping. If you want to keep as a daily, yes, right? Any frequency you can keep. So just now I am keeping it as a for once for testing purpose. So I have not selected any object. So choose object it is showing. So flow starts at Tuesday 22nd October at 12:15 p.m. Frequency is only one time. So choose the object. I am choosing the object as account. Okay, I am choosing the object as account. So what is the condition here? So what is the condition whether I need to check? Okay. So whatever the active records are there from the account records, so whatever the active records are there, active equals to yes. So whatever the active records are there in the system, so system needs to consider all active records. And next, what needs to perform here? So I need to deactivate and I need to deactivate those accounts, right? So let me save this. So label as scheduled flow, scheduled deactivate account. Okay, schedule deactivate account. This is what I'm keeping. Okay, click on save button. And now I'm going to add a decision here. Right? I'm going to add a decision. So I need to check if the account is inactive from the last 30 days. Right? So for this, I'm going to check. So keep the decision box and keep the label as check if account is check if the account is inactive from last 30 days. Okay. So now come here. New label as inactive. Okay. So now what is the conditions here? So what is the conditions? So now I am going to check whether the record is created less than or equals to 30 days. That means 30 days previous record I am going to take. Right? So last created date. So record dot last created date or last modified date you can take from less than or equal to 30 days. That means if the last modified date means so there is no any activity happened from the last 30 days. Okay. So if any modification happen means there will be a last modified date will be updated every time. Whenever you are updating the record, immediately it is going to update the last modified date. So now I am going to check in this record triggering record dot. So in this triggering account dot last modified. So last modified date. Okay, I am going to check account dot last modified. That means there is no activity from the last 30 days. Right? So account dot last modified date. So which is less than or equals to. So how what I need to take here? So here I need to take previous 30 from the current date to previous 30 days. So already this topic we have covered, right? So how to create a date, previous dates, or how to create future dates, right? For this we need to create a formula. So in order to create a formula means we need to create a resource. So I am going to create a new resource which is as a type formula, right? Resource type as a formula I am going to take here. Let me give some API name as formula for updating 30 days. Okay, just I'm giving as a formula, date formula. Okay, so now come down. So data type as date. Okay, so data type as date. Now come here. What is the resource I need to take? So from the flow dot, what is the current date? Current date means today's date. Current date minus the value 30 days. So today date minus 30. That means system is going to consider. So today's date is, let me take here, October 22nd, right? So it system is to take minus 30. So system is going to consider September 30 date. Okay, check the syntax, valid. So from the before September 30, right? Before September 30, whatever the last modified records are there. So system is going to consider those records and it is going to deactivate them. Okay, click on done. Then see here date formula is added. Okay, so close it, save it. Now in the default.com and this loop. and this default outcome. Okay, now here under this inactive, what you need to perform here, every particular time, right? Whatever the date and time I have mentioned, in this particular time, the job needs to run in the backend, and in the backend, I need to update the records. Click on this, update the records. Okay. Here, deactivate, what is that? Account record, deactivate account record. Okay. So use the record. I'm going to take here, use the account record, whatever the triggering record is there. Right? Dollar symbol record means whatever the triggering record is there. Use the account record. Okay. Now, what are the conditions? Nothing condition, no conditions are there. So I need to set the value active to inactive, no. Previously the active will be yes, now the active will be no. Okay. Just click on save. Okay. If you want to add any default path, you can add default path or else leave it. Okay. Save it. Just debug it. Okay. Let me select any one of the account and click on run. So default outcome, because the last, so here, see here, that means system is going to check last modified date. Okay. Last modified date, if it is greater than 30 days. Okay, so yeah, previous whatever the selected record is greater than 30 days. That is why system is went to the default outcome. So I need to check. Let me, for time being, I am creating it as, instead of last modified date, I am taking last created date for time being. Okay, last created. Created date. Yeah, it is there. Okay, created date I am taking. Just to save time. For your practice, just check whatever the last 30 days before created records, you can select that records. So now debug again. Okay, just click on run. Again, let me check whatever the records are previous. Let me go here, data export. I'm writing a small query. This concept I will tell you in the future classes. From account, active, and created date, and last modified date. Okay. Check that last modified. Okay. Export. So there are so many created dates out there. Okay. And see here, let me take any one of the record here. I'm going to take this record. What is this record ID? Details. Account name is Edge Communication Test. Okay. Let me go back to our flow. Check the decision. Created date is less than, okay. So created date is less than 30 days, correct? Now let me come here, debug again. So equals to created date. Okay. So here I have put equals to, right? I need to keep less than or equals to. Less than or equals to 30 days. Save it. Okay. So now again debug it. Now run. See here. So it is working fine. Right? This is the way we need to perform the operation. So let me, already 12:15, it is completed. Let me edit this and change this time to at 12:17. Okay, 12:17 p.m. Save it. Okay, just activate this. Now go back to our query and just export this. See here, as of now, let me take active records where active equals to S. Okay, exported. Total 12 records are there, right? So all the records are created date. See here, observe the created date. Almost all these 12 records are less than or equals to 30 days only. So today is October 23rd. So all the records are created on August and this is September, September 10 and 17. That means less than 30 days. So now after 1 minute, so after 1 minute, the batch is going to run and this particular active needs to be updated at one time in a single go. Okay. Now let me check. See here 12:17. So let me wait for a few more seconds and just refresh the screen. That's it. So now all these records active status to be updated. I think the flow is active, right? So activated, correct, done. Go back to here, just export this. See here, where active equals to no, I am keeping export. See, all the 12 records are there. So all the August records are there, right? Now you got it, right? Now I am removing this filter. Previously, number of active records are, some of the active records is there, right? There are with active status as yes, but now you can see all these active states are updated as a no. That means system has run in the backend. Go to this flow. So system taken this particular 22nd of October at 12:17 p.m. So at one time, frequency is one time. So system is going to check in the backend whether the created date is less than or equal to 30 days. Consider those accounts and update all those accounts with the active status as no. Right? So hope you understand how this scheduled flow is going to run. Right? This is how the scheduled flow we are going to use it. So it is going to run in the back end only. So in the back end, at a particular scheduled point of time at this frequency, system is going to run in the back end. Okay, and perform the whatever the operations we are going to given in this flow. So those operations it is going to perform. Okay. And next, very importantly, so this is what you observe is a scheduled flow, right? And next, the important concept is time-based flow. Okay, time-based, or we can say it as asynchronously. Asynchronously, I need to perform the flow. Asynchronously, the asynchronously means just to delay the execution of a flow. I am going to delay the execution of a flow. Execution of a flow. So here in the scheduled flow where you have observed completely we are scheduling this flow. So the flow itself, the complete flow itself is going to run at a period of time. So today or tomorrow it is going to run at a once daily or weekly. So it is going to run at a period of time at this time interval. But time based flow means system is going to trigger the record and whatever the actions we have given, right, after update actions, and those after update actions are going to perform with some delay. It may be 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes or 5 minutes like that. Now you understood about scheduled and asynchronous time based flow, right? So scheduled flow means the complete flow itself is going to run in the back end at a period of time, at point of time. Okay, at that frequency and point of time. Here time based flow means it is going to run asynchronously. That means it is going to delay the execution of a flow. So whenever the flow is executed, let's say the record trigger flow, whenever the record trigger is executed. So let's say, let me go back to our one of the objects, the error object. Let me take here error logs. So whenever the error logs are created, if you open this error log, so there are number of options. So flow name, flow type, flow node. These are the values which we have provided from the input screens, right? And these are the four fields which I have created. For time being, I have created flow label, flow developer name, number, minutes, right? As a text fields, and this is a number field which I have created in the backend. Okay. And these values should populate whenever the error log record is created. Right? Whenever the error log is created, these values needs to be populated. How? We are having a one more object known as flow interview log. Flow interview. See here, flow interview log, there is a one more object, standard object is there in the Salesforce. So in this flow interview log, we are having some of the fields. So if you see here, see flow developer name, flow interview ID, flow label, right? Flow namespace, flow version number. So all these details, flow interview duration in minutes. Okay. So these are the standard fields and the standard object. If you can see here, standard object is flow interview log. And these are the some of the standard fields you can see here. And these values needs to be populated from this object whenever the error log is created. If you see here, in some cases, like whenever in the after updation of a record, so it will take some fraction of seconds in order to update the particular record. So here I am going to update the same record, right? So system needs to consider, so the error log record is created or error log record is updated or created. Okay. So immediately if the remaining fields needs to be performed means system will not understand. System will not take the update actions. Right. So system will not assign these values. Like for example, assignment rules are there that we are going to discuss in the coming classes. So assignment rules are there, lead assignment rules or case assignment rules are there. So in this assignment rules is also system will not immediately perform this assignment rules. So system needs to take a few seconds in order to perform. That means system needs to run asynchronously these operations. So we need to perform these operations asynchronously. Whenever we are going to update in the same on the same record, right? So we need to delay the operation a few seconds or a few minutes. Right? If mainly this operation, we are going to use this asynchronous operation, we are going to use in the integrations. So if I want to update, right? If I am going to update, then integration needs to fire, right? So, and from the integration, some of the records again, from the integration in the Salesforce, they are going to update few of the records. There we need some delay of the action, a few seconds or a few minutes delay of the action. Okay. So for this, we are going to use time-based flows. Very, very important. There we are going to use time-based flows. Okay. Let's say whenever this error log is created, here we are going to see this example just for now. Okay. So whenever this error log is created, after that we need to run the flow. Okay. Just keeping a few minutes or few seconds of a delay. Let's go at 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay. So let me open. So when this error log is created, if you go here contact, so in the previous class, I think in the 37, 38 class, we have created this particular screen flow, right? So from this screen flow only, we have whenever the flow is executed, if there is any error, immediately the error log record is created. So let's see here, the last name is mandatory and phone email also mandatory. I'm not providing any values. This is a screen flow, right? This is a screen flow which we have created. And I have added the screen flow in this page. Okay, so just click on next. See here, there was an error. There was an error while creating a contact record. Please contact system admin. Let's see in the error log whether it is created or not. Go to your error log. See, this is created log file open. Okay, see here, create a contact record screen flow. This is the flow name. And what is the flow node? Create a contact record. So what is the type of flow? Screen flow. And these values I have not given in that particular flow. That is why these values are not populated. Now I need to create a new flow where these values need to be populated from this object. Okay, flow interview log object. Let's see what will happen. Let me go back. Create a new flow. So click on next. Record trigger flow. Click on next. Okay. So object is what? Error log. Whenever error log is created. So it needs to take a few seconds. Okay. Whenever a record is created, I am going to take here. Now come down. What is the conditions whether I need to take here? So if the flow is firing, right? Sorry, if the error log is created from the flow, because we have added number of conditions, right? From the flow, from the apex class, from the batch, number of component types we have added. So now I am going to type component type is equals to flow, right? This is the entry condition, and whatever the flow ID, flow interview ID is null equals to false. That means mandatory the flow interview ID should be there. If the flow ID should be there means already the flow is there. The flow is running in the backend. So okay. Now I'm going to take action under the related records. Here obviously no need to take action under the related because we are going to update on the same record. If you go here, error log, see here we are going to update the same record fields, right? No need to take action related, but this particular schedule in order to add some time path, right? So this works only under the action related records, not under the fast and fill before update. That is why I am taking action related. See here, add scheduled part. If you want to add any scheduled parts, you can add. Okay, see here. So run immediately. Let us discuss this later. Now for time being, let me delete this, all these things. Okay. If I selected before flow means, see here, that particular time based is gone. There is no time based. So that is the reason I have taken action under related records. Okay, now the time based is on. Okay, so now I need to consider the values from this other object and I need to paste those values in error log. Okay, let me save this. Give update error log. Okay, update error logs. Okay, click on save. So now what I need to get here? So from this flow interview object, I need to get the values and I need to paste those values in the error log object. So for querying, I am having get record elements. Use this get record elements. So what is that? Get flow inter copy paste is copy, come here. Flow interview log, get flow interview log record. Okay. Now object as flow interview log. See here, flow interview log. Okay. So what are the conditions? What is the condition here? So the flow interview ID should be equals to the running flow. What are the running flow ID? Right? That means the record, what are the triggering record is there. Okay. So from this record dot, this error log record dot flow interview ID. This should be equals to this flow interview ID. Now you got it right. So whatever the flow interview, this is the standard field generated by the Salesforce. This value is also generated by the Salesforce. This value is equals to whatever the value we are pasting in the error log. If you go here, so this value. Okay. So this is the value coming from whenever the contact record is created from the screen, right? So whenever that particular flow runs, so it is taking that ID. So system needs to consider if this ID is equals to here, the flow interview ID from the flow interview log object. Okay. So I need to consider automatically store all fields, only the first record. Okay. Now, if the record is present or not, I need to add here decision. After get immediate, we need to add the decision. So for null checks, okay, check if the record is found or not. Check if the record is found. Okay. Let me give label as the record found. So here record found means from the get elements. See here from the get records, whatever the ID is there, it should not be null. Okay, it should not be null. from the get elements. Okay, whatever the ID is there, come down. What is the ID? See here, flow interview ID is there. Okay, flow interview log ID. Okay, so record dot ID is equals to what is that ID? Should not be, sorry, is null should be false. Is null false. That means from the flow. So from the get record elements, it should query the record. So that means the record ID should not be null. So that means the record is there. Okay. Come here and here. Okay. If the record is found. Okay. So here next what to do here, if the record is found means we need to update the record. So update record. So what we need to update here? So update error log object, right? Update log object. Okay. Use the error log record that triggered the flow. Now, what are the values here? So what are the four values which I have created? Go back, come down, flow developer name, label. Okay, come here, flow developer name, flow label only, right? Flow label, duration and version. Flow label, flow duration and flow version number. Flow version. Okay, so these values to be populated from the standard object, right? So whatever the get record, already we have get queried and get the flow interview log record. So I need to take those values and paste those values to these four fields. So from the get, see here, from this get record, whatever the values are there, what is the developer name, right? These are the standard. So flow development, these are the standard information. These are the custom information which we have created. Okay. Now I am taking the information from the standard fields and I'm pasting in the custom fields. Okay. Flow developer name, and from the get flow label. Okay. And from the get interview duration, and from the get, what is the flow version? Okay. Flow version number. Let me save it again. Okay. Just to debug it. So whatever the error log is there, let me take this error log, just click on run. Check whether it is correctly working or not. Yes, it is working. Okay, if the flow interview ID is equals to that flow ID, standard object ID, then it is going to update those four fields. Okay, again it is rolled back. Okay, now, now check, let me activate this. Activate this. Okay. So here you can see here before activating the version number is 1, right? So here the version number is 1. So let me save as a new version. Save it. Edit the flow again. So here I am going to add time-based flow. So here I am going to add the time-based flow. Okay, whenever the log record is created, activate this. Okay, whenever log record, when this log record is going to create, so let me open any contact. Okay, so let me create this error. Okay, error log record. When this error log is created, so if there is an error while creating the contact record, right? So let me create next. See here, there was an error. Okay, click on next and go to error log. Open 6. If you see here, still it is activated. The flow is activated. Okay, flow label, developer name, version number, duration means why? Why it is not there? If you see here, our flow, let me close this. Yeah, if you see here, our flow, it is in active stage, right? if you go to our error log, this is the new error log record. This is the new error log record just now we have created, right? From the contact object, whenever, let's go and create one more. If you see here, if you click on next, that means now see, new error log is created. Okay, go to error log. See, log 7 is created. So whenever the error log is created, whatever the record trigger flow we have written, so whenever the error log is created, please update flow label, developer name, version number, and duration. These 4 fields needs to be updated from the standard object. But why? But why it is not required? So because it will take a few seconds of time. So how many times, number of times you can create this error log? So but these values will not get populated. Why? Because system needs to take a few seconds of time. So we need to provide a few seconds of time or few minutes of time. So in order to update these fields. Okay. So in such scenarios, in this type of scenarios, so we need to add time-based flows. Now you got it right. So here the trigger is active and we have written the trigger on error log object. See, error log object whenever a record is created. Right? And what is the entry condition also? The flow interview ID should not be null. Yes, interview ID is not null and component type is also flow. Just open this. See, flow interview is not null and component type is also flow. Okay. So let me open here. Let me add here a time-based flow. So now I am going to add here time-based flow. Okay, how to add time-based? See, add scheduled path. Just add here. So this is the run immediately. Run immediately means just now we have completed, right? So path label as let me give here after 1 minute. After 1 minute. Okay. Time source as whenever error log is created. When error log is created. Or if you want to provide any date or modified date, anything you can give. So now I want to provide when error log is created. Right? So see here offset number. When this particular should see 1 minute. If you see here 1 minute after. Okay. When this particular is record is going to fire. Right? When this update should happen. So 1 minute after. Or if you want to before events also. So see here 1 minute before, 1 hour before, 1 day before, 1 month before. So mainly this where you are seeing in the real time. So when you are having any credit card bill, if you want to any credit card bill, if you want to pay. So let's say after generating a credit card bill, you will get a notification that within next 20 days of time, you need to pay this credit card bill. So there you need to write this particular flow. That means, so the customer needs to get a notification 20 days before. 20 days before of this particular bill due date. Right? Next, and again, one more mail you will receive within 10 days. So please pay the bill of amount this much. So within 10 days of time. So there is a 10 days of due date is there. Again, you will receive a notification. Again, one more notification you will receive, right? So see here. So how many days after, how many days before? So again, you will receive an email notification that 5 days before. Again, you will get a notification that 1 day before. Right? So on the day also you will get, that means 0 day. 0 days before means on the day. Right? On the day also you will get notification that today is the last date in order to pay your credit card bill. In such scenarios, we are going to use this time-based flows. Now, in our case, it is 1 minute, right? 1 minute after. 1 minute after I am going to take. Okay. Let me save as a new version again. Save it. Okay. Let me go back to here. So component type is a flow and flow interview ID is also. So entry conditions are matching, right? See, component type is flow and flow interview ID is there. So it should match. So that means the record trigger is going to fire. Okay, after it should not run immediately. So if it runs immediately, this operation is not going to happen. Right? So for that reason, I'm going to cut this flow, cut element and paste it here. Okay, again, I am going to cut this. Should I have pasted, right? Remove this. Okay. Again, cut this, paste it. Okay. Now I can cut this and paste it here. One minute. Let me remove this free form. Delete this and add it here. Okay. Now save it. Okay. Then update auto layout. Okay. See here. Whenever error log is created, so in the run immediately, nothing is there. Okay, in the run immediately, nothing is there. So after 1 minute, so it should get the flow interview log record from the standard object. It should get the values and it should update those values here. Okay, so now save it. Okay, already we have tested and let me run activate this. Now it is activated. Now go back to our contact record. Go back to our contact. Just create one more contact. Okay. So see, again, we are getting an error. Okay. So for this, now go back to our error log. So see here, let me wait. Okay. So now the time is 12:44, right? So go back to our setup. If you can see what are the time-based workflows are there, all the fields you can see here, time-based workflow. Okay, just open this. Click on search. See here, as of now, update error logs. You can see. Okay, this is the one when it should fire at 12:45. 12:45 p.m. it should fire. If it is fired, then obviously it is removed from this logs. Okay, now the time is 12:45. Now search again. So wait for a few more seconds. So created at 12:44 and you should fire at 12:45. Okay, this is the about time-based workflows. Okay, just we are going to delay the actions. That's it. In some scenarios, the immediate actions will not work. Immediately, if we need to update few of the record, right, our assignment rules, so they will not work immediately. Then we need to go for this time-based workflows. Okay. Let me wait for a few more seconds. Okay, now go back to our record, error logs. Just see here. So previously these four values are not there, right? Now you can see flow label, create contact receive, the same name, but it is coming from the standard object. See flow developer name. See, this is the API name of this flow, right? Flow version number 2. Okay, flow interview duration in minutes 1.48. Got it right? So this is the flow inter all these details, how this time-based workflow and the schedule flow will work. Okay, so if you're having any doubts at any point of time, just mention in the comment sections. I'm going to respond to those comments. Okay, so keep following this channel for the latest updates. Thank you.